Okay, so the way we all buy things, it's changing. And I mean fast. It's way more than just tapping a card these days. Today, we're going to dive into 3 incredible developments that are totally rewriting the rules of payments. We're talking about what happens when AI starts spending its own money, how your face is literally becoming your new credit card, and the just mind-blowing scale of online shopping today.
You know, I absolutely love this quote. It just perfectly nails that feeling, right? When you see a piece of new tech and it just clicks, you realize the future isn't some far-off thing. It's already here, kind of leaking into our world, one line of code or one face scan at a time.
And yeah, today is definitely one of those days. We're going to break down 3 stories that honestly feel like they're pulled straight from science fiction. First up, we've got AI wallets and a future where machines are paying each other. Then, we'll look at biometric checkouts that are making paying for stuff almost invisible. And finally, we'll wrap up with the sheer raw power of the system we already have, all proven by one absolutely massive shopping weekend. All right, let's kick things off with the most futuristic idea of the bunch. There's this company called CRCL, and they're building a system that lets AI agents pay each other completely on their own, no humans involved.
So the big idea here is what's called agentic payments. And really, it's a financial system built for machines. Just imagine an AI paying another AI for a quick piece of data. Or maybe a self-driving car paying a small fee to get into a priority lane during rush hour. These kinds of transactions would happen instantly, automatically, just machine to machine.
And this is where you can really see the shift, right? We use money for stuff like pizza or coffee. Machines, they're going to be using it for digital resources, like getting access to an API or running a data query. We're talking about these teeny tiny micropayments happening thousands of times every second. It's wild.
Look, if you're trying to wrap your head around this whole thing, the source put it perfectly. It's basically giving robots Venmo. I mean, how perfect is that? But instead of you and your friend splitting a dinner bill, it's AI models paying fractions of a cent for another model's output. It's such a simple way to think about it, but it just makes this super high-tech concept click. But this is way more than just a cool tech demo. As AI gets more and more autonomous, it needs its own financial system to actually do things. Now, look, we are at the very beginning here. Think of it like the internet back in the early 90s. But this is the foundation being laid for what could be an entire future machine economy. Okay, so let's pull back from the far-out future for a second and look at something that's making waves right now down in Brazil. A company called DLocal is giving a huge upgrade to the country's ridiculously popular payment system, which is called Pix. I mean, just look at this difference. The old way was clunky, right? You'd get booted out of the app you were in, you'd have to wait for a confirmation, and then just hope you landed back in the right place to finish your purchase. The new way is just a simple, seamless scan with your face or fingerprint, and you never even leave the app. All that friction, it's just gone, vanished. You know, to really get a sense of how big Pix is in Brazil, the source had this great analogy. They called it the Neymar of fintech. It's not just some payment system, it's a cultural phenomenon. It's fast, it's stylish, and pretty much everybody loves it. And now, it's getting even better. For businesses, this is a total game changer. Brazil's a huge and growing digital market. And that little moment of friction at checkout, that's where you lose people. They just abandon their carts. By getting rid of that step, you stop that from happening. It's a massive win for merchants and, frankly, a much nicer experience for the rest of us. So yeah, the bottom line is that DLocal took this thing that everyone already loved and basically gave it a biometric superpower. It's just a perfect example of how shaving off a few seconds and a couple of clicks from the checkout process can have a massive, massive impact. And that idea of massive impact brings us perfectly to our final story. This one is all about scale, and I'm talking colossal scale. Because while all these new payment methods are coming online, the system we already have needs to handle an almost unimaginable amount of traffic, especially during peak shopping season.
Seriously, just take a second and look at this number, $40 billion. That's how much money Stripe processed over a single weekend, from Black Friday through Cyber Monday. It's a number so huge, it's honestly hard to even get your head around.
So to try and wrap our heads around that number, here's some perspective. $40 billion is more than what people in the US spend on all pet supplies in an entire year. Let that sink in. In one weekend, Stripe handled more money than a full year's worth of dog food, cat toys, vet visits, the whole shebang. So the big question is, how did they even pull this off, right? Well, it's a mix of a few things. E-commerce just keeps growing, Stripe's platform is pretty much everywhere online, and maybe most importantly, their systems just worked. They stayed up, they ran smoothly, and they caught fraud without a hitch during the absolute busiest time of the year.
You know, at the end of the day, this performance wasn't just about a big, flashy number. It was a statement. Stripe basically just reminded the entire world that it's the essential, invisible infrastructure. It is the very bloodstream that keeps global e-commerce pumping.
So we've seen these three really powerful forces. You've got the future of autonomous machine payments, the present of totally frictionless human checkout, and a global backbone that can handle just insane scale. So what happens when you put it all together?
I mean, think about it. You've got CRCL building the wallet for a future machine economy. You've got DLocal, which is perfecting that seamless, invisible checkout for us humans today. And then you have Stripe, providing that rock-solid backbone that lets all of it operate at a truly global scale.
And that really leaves us with one heck of a question to think about. When these three worlds, machine payments, biometric checkouts, and global scale, when they all merge, what is buying something even going to feel like in, say, 2030? Will your AI assistant just take care of it all before you even think about it? Whatever it looks like, it's going to be wild. Pretty exciting stuff to think about.